Let's ask this gentleman some questions. You've just arrived in London at St Pancras Station. It's a beautiful day. Are you going to walk into the centre of town?
Probably.
How long will it take?
It'll probably take about 20 minutes.
That's cool. Okay, let's jump ahead and catch up with him at the British Museum. Are you going to visit the British Museum today?
Probably not. There's a long queue and it's probably going to take at least an hour to get in.
Fine. What next? You're at Buckingham Palace now. Are you going to visit the Queen?
Probably not. I'm probably not invited.
Okay, I understand, but can't you express yourself in a more interesting way? What are you doing now?
I'm hungry, I'll probably get some lunch.
Could you say something other than probably? London is famous for its pubs. Are you going to get a drink this evening?
Probably. I'll probably be thirsty after all this walking.
Again, probably. Boring isn't he? Wouldn't have a drink with him.
Hello and welcome to Let Them Talk. So, can you use the word probably in everyday conversation? Well, actually, of course you can. But I needed a catchy title for the video. If it was called something like, we recommend that you use the word probably less often, no one would be interested. We also needed a thumbnail of me, no doubt, pointing angrily at the camera. But don't worry, I'm not angry. I never get angry. But no one wants to see a smiling face and a wave. We want conflict in our videos. Quite the opposite, what we want in our real lives. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The word probably is indeed an overused word. There you see, I'm pointing again. So yes, think about using it less often and try some of the many other ways we have in English to express probability. And this is what I'm going to show you today. Let's start with to be likely to, or to be unlikely to. And this means that you are confident that something will or will not happen in the future. Many people will place another word before likely. It's pretty likely, or it's very likely, or it's most likely, and the same with unlikely. It's rather unlikely. It's fairly unlikely. Now, this is quite common in conversation and in written English. So, for example, it's very likely that I'll change my job in the next 6 months. It's most unlikely that we'll finish this project by the deadline. They said that it's pretty likely that she'll be out of hospital by the weekend. Likely and unlikely can be used in the past tense. I told her that it was unlikely that the snake that bit her was venomous. The noun is likelihood, which is a synonym of the word probability. Sometimes the word probability sounds a little too technical. Likelihood sounds a little softer and more natural in everyday situations. For example, the likelihood of me becoming a famous belly dancer is pretty remote. Next, we're going to look at no doubt. Now, we have a video just on this phrase. A link to that somewhere up here. Now, when no doubt starts a phrase, there is a doubt, albeit a small one. Sounds confusing. If there is zero doubt, then you say there is no doubt or without a doubt. So no doubt means I think it's very likely. He's always late and no doubt he'll be late again. Remember, no doubt means I think, probably. It does not mean certainly. No doubt you'll be tired after your long journey. Actually, no, I'm not tired at all. I slept on the plane. Oh, okay. Reckon or I reckon means I think it's likely based on my calculations. It's used like I think or I believe, but it has a higher degree of certainty. Your assessment on the outcome is a bit more scientific. I reckon she'll get about 65% in the maths exam. Like think so or believe so. You can also say reckon so for a short reply. For example, do you think he'll go to prison for hitting the policeman? Yes, I reckon so. Now remember, you can also use should for probability. Should is most often used for obligation and recommendations and criticism, but you can also use should when you strongly believe in an estimate of an amount of time or a price or a quantity or something like that. For example, it should take about an hour to do this. I'll call you when I'm finished. I should be free on Wednesday. We can meet up then. There you are. So I should be free means I'll probably be free. Now I'm sure you know may and might. Both are used for possibility. We have a video about that, link in the description. But did you know that if you add well after may or might, so you say may well or might well, this raises the level of probability suggested by the speaker. They both mean I'm very confident that it's true. So, for example, I did very badly. I may well have to retake these exams. This might well be the best film you see all year. The negative is might well not or may well not, which has a similar meaning to probably won't. She may well not want to eat your pineapple and mushroom pizza. Now, don't confuse might well with might as well, which is a totally different expression with a different meaning. Might as well means I have no reason not to do this. For example, I've missed my train, might as well go to the cafe for the next hour until the next one leaves. We'll look at this in more detail in another video, but don't confuse these two, might as well and might well. They are completely different. Finally, we have dare say. Dare say goes before a pronoun or a noun, and it means we believe that something is true. Okay? I dare say you heard what happened to Johnny. Yeah. I dare say you'll be wanting more videos about grammar, won't you?
Now it's your turn. We are going back to London and we are going to ask this gentleman the same questions again. But this time it's you that has to give the answers. Can you respond to the questions without using the word probably? That's your challenge. Remember that there is more than one correct answer. Are you ready for the first question? It's a beautiful day. Are you going to walk into the centre of town?
I reckon so.
How long will it take?
Should take about 20 minutes.
Are you going to visit the British Museum?
It's extremely unlikely. There's a long queue and no doubt it's going to take at least an hour to get in.
Oh, you're at Buckingham Palace. Are you going to visit the Queen?
I doubt it. I dare say I'm not invited again.
What are you doing now?
I'm hungry. Might well get some lunch.
Are you going to get some English food?
Unlikely. I want something a bit more spicy.
London is famous for its pubs. Are you going to get a drink this evening?
Very likely. No doubt I'll be thirsty after all this walking.
If you got the answers right, well done. Swing by and come and have a drink with me. If not, try again and see you later.